Tony Abate here with Ross Mortgage. Hey, let's talk about 6 things that you're going to need to know before you get a mortgage pre-approval. All right, so let's jump right in here. So you're doing the right thing. You want to get a mortgage pre-approval. You want to do that before you're house shopping. Good for you. Make sure you're working with a reputable lender. But here's 6 important things that you need to know when you're seeking out a mortgage pre-approval. Number 1, know what your goal or what your objective is. And we have folks coming to us, and sometimes they might fit into 2 categories. First, they might want to know, gee, what is my maximum buying power? What's the most that I can qualify for? And that's a fair question. And then other times a person might say, the houses that I'm looking at, that I'm interested in, they fall between $250,000, $300,000. Can I qualify for a mortgage in that price range? So knowing what you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish is important when you're obtaining a mortgage pre-approval. Number 2, know what your credit profile looks like. These days, it's really easy to get a snapshot of what your credit profile looks like and your scores. You're looking for information that is erroneous, things that are wrong that might take you some time to get corrected. And when you're looking at your credit profile, maybe using Credit Karma or maybe through your American Express account where you might have access to your credit, understand that the credit score that you see is probably going to be different than the credit score that we see as a lender. We just have to use different models than the consumer typically sees. We'll do another video on that and go into more detail. So number 3, have access to the documents that you need for a mortgage pre-approval. So if you're working with the lender and they tell you, hey, we can do a pre-approval, we don't need any of your documents, I would tread very, very carefully in that kind of situation. A mortgage pre-approval should work like a full-blown mortgage application, but you just don't have that house picked out yet. So a lender should be looking at your income, your assets, your credit profile, your job history, all the things that are necessary for a mortgage pre-approval so that when that pre-approval letter is issued, you're set. All we have to look at really is the house itself. It's important to set it up that way. So what do you need? Paycheck stubs that cover the most recent 30 days, bank statements going back 2 months. Please give us all pages of those bank statements. And lastly, W-2s, typically for the most recent 2 years. If you have hard copies or electronic PDF files, those documents, that's going to work just fine. Screenshots are not going to work for you, so avoid providing mortgage documentation to a lender by using screenshots. You'll just have to go back and do it again. The 4th thing to consider when you're looking to get a mortgage pre-approval is just knowing where your budget is. Now, as a lender, when we're looking at your qualifying for a mortgage, that's a different look than say, what are my monthly expenses and what's my monthly income? Because there's certain expenses that we don't look at. If you like to travel a lot, if you have a gym membership that's kind of costly because you want to go to the really nice gym, if you want to dedicate a certain amount of your income every month to a charitable organization, these are expenses that you have and you want to maintain them to maintain your lifestyle, but we don't take those into consideration. So in looking at your budget, if you know, I can't exceed a certain threshold for my mortgage house payment, let's talk about that so we can look at not only what you can qualify for, but what's comfortable for you as a homeowner. You're going to be in this home for a long time, so we want to make sure it's a good fit. Number 5, be wary of financial changes that might be coming down the road. Now, if a person is smart, they're going to start that pre-approval process long before they're actually out looking at the homes and considering signing a contract, because you want some time to see what the market is made up of. So look into that crystal ball to the best extent that you can. Are there job changes coming up? Do you have a lease vehicle where the lease is ending and you're going to need to replace with another car that might have a different monthly payment? Do you have certain expenses that might change your assets? Are you going to be getting monies that are going to be coming in that could change your buying power? So kind of have a look into the future as to what's going on with your financial world. And then number 6, lastly, make sure you're working with a lender where you can talk to the same person throughout the process. So you can have what-if questions and answers, scenarios that are looked at, so you have a good feel as to what all your numbers are going to look like. Ross Mortgage can take a mortgage from start to finish, and we can do the whole thing online. But let's face it, a home purchase is a big commitment for most of us. It's the biggest financial purchase in our lives. And you need to know, and you have a right to know exactly how things are going to look. So embrace the ability to apply online and provide documents in electronic format, but make sure that you're working with a lender that you can talk to over the phone or meet face-to-face and just kind of have a good understanding and a feeling for what your home purchase is going to look like. It's really important. Hey, thanks for watching. Remember, getting a mortgage does not have to be hard.